Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Dolis and welcome back to Material Energy Natural Capital. In the last episode, we were working on all of this. Getting a leadstone energy cell so we can have some power over here. Getting a bunch of cyclic assemblers to set up some automation to make circuits and nodes. And all the other automation. Now, I've been doing a little bit of work here, just trying to get some stuff kind of backlogged. The nodes obviously were completely backlogged, which is great. If we take some of these out, then we'll get more. That's the idea anyways. And I made an adjustment here. So I turned this one to pick up everything. And I turned this one to not pick up copper plates, and this one to pick up copper plates. Because I was having the issue of these inserters don't pick up things too effectively. So if an item comes along, we might even have some items over here that shouldn't belong there. No. So if an item comes along, let's say with how it was before, it would turn right here. And let's say that we had two items get made at the same time or relatively close to each other. This would try to pick up one, turn around, put it in the chest, and the other one would go over here. And a lot of times what was happening was iron plates were going over here and getting stuck in the loop over here. So I just changed up a little bit. I considered having it go over here and then loop back and then just constantly looping. But I figured it'd be easier if it just dead ends right here and we just extract the copper plates, because that's the only thing that needs to be processed again, and put them over, use an inserter for that. So what I did was I got rid of one of the forging hammers. Nothing major there. So there is a couple other problems. Obviously, this inserter will have the same problems because it can't pick up things. Like, it sometimes will miss things, as well as all of these inserters. So there is some issues there, but for the most part, it's fine. I'm not going to worry about it too much. But we did get a bunch of things, trees growing over there, so I have a lot of resin right now. So we should be able to make more circuits as we go. Now, before we head over there, we got to make a couple things. Because, well, we need space. We need storage space. And one big thing I want to talk about as well, actually, do I want to make a cache? I think I want to make one single cache. So let's grab the materials for that, which is our last log, unfortunately. And I believe it's tin. Yeah, so we're going to want a little bit of tin. So I'm going to process some of that. So between episodes, I went digging. I also flattened the top of the mountain up there, which we can go look at in a little bit. But yeah, I've been doing some work. So let's put the ore in there and let that process. Let's go take a look at the quarry, because this quarry is doing a lot of work. We're getting a lot of iron, especially, but we're getting a lot of stuff. But I went ahead and I just kind of flattened out this area. I wanted gravel because I needed flint, and so that's how I did that. Let's see how this is going. Yeah, we still have a lot of stuff. It's slowly getting more stuff and whatnot. The iron ingots, we have so much iron right now, and so for that I want to make a little bit of the iron item barrels that we have over there. I also went between episodes and gathered up a bunch of sand. So up at this island, which we are right here, so basically directly north, there is an island. There's a gigantic ravine in it, and there was actually, yeah, the ravine's there-ish, I think, where you can see the water. I realize you guys can't see my mouse, but yeah, there's a giant ravine. There was a bunch of metallurgy metals, and I picked the ones I could get. So we have mithril, bracium, and carbon. Plus we have a ton of iron in here. And then I also gathered up a ton of sand. I think in total I got like 27 stacks. So not too bad. We're going to need a little bit of this. We're going to need a little bit of that. We're going to need a little bit of this. Alright, so we're going to make some things. We're going to do some crafting. First things first, let's go ahead and make the cache. We're going to make a cache because... oh, I had another tree tap in there. Okay, that's fine. I'll put a tree tap in here. We're going to make a cache for the iron. As you can see, I also have a ton of potatoes in my inventory. And that's the other thing we're going to want to be making. It's something to do with that. But next we're going to do that, and 2 iron makes iron item barrels. And then we can get rid of that recipe. And then the next thing we're going to make is the clippers, which requires shears, which I can make myself. And then we're also going to need a couple of sticks. And the shears are really important because, well, I did some work. I did some major work between episodes. Specifically what I did was I made potatoes. I have a ton of potatoes. In fact, we're going to cook all of these potatoes up. I don't know how many there are. 576. Okay. So one of the quests is to have 500 potatoes, is turn in 500 potatoes. So we're going to do that. The other thing we're going to want to do I have a wrench? Do I not have a crescent hammer? Have I never made a crescent hammer? I like the crescent hammer the best. It's like my go-to tool, but apparently I don't have one. So let's see, how can we make one? Crescent hammer is 3 iron and a tin. Okay, I can handle that. And then we're also going to want to grab a single piece of redstone. We'll get to why in a little bit, but yeah. So I did some things with the just making a bunch of the potatoes, getting a 10 potato seed, which we do now have, and so we're gonna deal with that today. One of the problems, though, is duplicating said seed, and that is why we need the shears, the clippers. But let's make a clock because we're going to do one of those in a little bit. Alright, cool. And now what we can do is we can place that down. I have all of this iron ore. And now we can pick that up and carry around our iron ore. This is pretty cool. So I know there's more in here because I was storing it in there because I was running out of space. We have 26 stacks of iron ore. Now I'm just going to put that over here for right now. Just put that right over here. And then we have the clock. We'll get to that in a little bit. That's the main reason, by the way, I wanted the crescent hammer, is just to do that. We don't really need the ore finder on us all the time, so I'm going to put that away. And we're hungry. Of course we are. Let's grab some more potatoes, because we do have extras. And it's just now cooking. It's just now cooking the potatoes. Alright, let's see if we can get our... Nope. It's going to wind up all the way at the end. We'll come back for it. So, yeah. We have a bunch of item barrels. And we're going to be using these. One of the things we need to kind of deal with is onyx. So I've been sifting up a bunch of gravel to get a bunch of flint. And that gave me a ton of onyx shards. And so we're just going to put those in an item barrel. And then we're also going to have other item barrels. But I have one up here for our sand. And we're just going to put some more up here. And there we go. So we have what? 19 stacks of onyx. And then if we come over here, we can do the other thing. So I have the clippers. And I have a bunch of seeds. We're going to deal with that today, maybe. But we're going to just get some clippings. And these are all 10 clippings. And so if we put those in here, one, they should always, always, always grow. Whereas if I try to crossbreed these, they will not necessarily be 10, 10, 10s. So that is a problem. And we can go ahead and grow these back up. And then once they're fully grown, which as you can see, they grow very quickly. They give us, I believe it's 4 potatoes every harvest. And sometimes they're poisonous potatoes. Wow, I can say that properly. But we have a 10, 10, 10 seed, and we can make as many as we want. So we're going to actually store a 10, 10, 10 seed in here. And I'm also going to put the clippers in here because we don't need them right now. But having this potato seed is actually really important because that is another quest that we can deal with. Alright, let's do that. So I believe this one is in naturalism, and it's the perfect potato. So the perfect potato, manual submit. Oh, okay, hold up. We have some potato seeds that are not anything, and it wanted that. Okay, well, that's fine. So we got the perfect potato. We'll keep the seeds in there. Wasn't supposed to happen that way. But, by the way, I started saying, and I didn't finish my thought, there's a ravine, there's a bunch of caves up on this island, including one of them has a zombie spawner. There's a zombie spawner right there. It's pretty far away. Probably not going to use it much or anything like that. But I wanted to bring it up because that is the only way that we can actually get... it's one of the only ways we can get hostile mobs in this series, at least in the overworld, is through the... yeah, that thing. Spawners. We can only get hostile mobs through spawners, at least in the overworld. So let's go grab our pick, which should be in this iron chest over here. And we got a new... We're going to get a new watering can, a reinforced watering can. Now we'll need to fill this up with water, but this thing is kind of crazy. We're never going to use the other one again because this one grows things very quickly. Is there some grass up here that hasn't grown yet? Because that's something we can actually do now. Well, watering cans in general can always grow grass, but these grow super quickly. So the reinforced watering can is amazing, and if we want a lot of crops, that's like the best way to do it. So let's go put the other watering can away, and we're just gonna put it over here because why not? And then we'll get into what we're gonna work on today, which I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what I want to work towards. One thing that we need to work towards is better... We need better power generation. That is a huge thing right now. But, nether wart... it can be grown in crop sticks, but I don't know if that I will. We'll have to get nether wart at some point. Glow shrooms. Soul sand. They must be grown in the dark. Outside at night won't do. Okay, so we'll have to look into those. Better farmland. We can get fertile land with 8 coins. I'm not going to worry about that. Amethyst, we can't do that yet. And nether berries. We'll have to worry about that later. We'll have to explore the nether at some point. But anyways. One of the things that the reason why we got the clock is for the eventuality, eventually. So time is ticking away, and a somewhat infinite future is approaching. So we have a clock, and we need 8 coins. That's why I made the clock. The other thing is we need time essence, which I think we get a time essence from that. And so that's something we're going to have to work towards. But the one thing that we're going to be doing is it capitalism? Yeah, so 500 baked potatoes gives us 4 copper coins. That's not much. Okay. Now, 2 stacks of nodes gives us 7 copper coins. That's a little bit better, but I don't think we're going to be able to do that today either. So let's do some progression stuff. And I'm going to put, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and manually submit the clock. And then we can just get the coins as we do. So obviously, once we do get the potatoes all harvested, which we have 42 currently, I'm going to take some of them. We'll worry about that. We'll get that quest turned in at some point. This is almost full. That is actually really good. I might want to make more leadstone energy cells. Okay, so one thing we can do, and this is in the marketplace, how expensive is it to get the, where is it, thermopile, aka the thermoelectric? It is 7 coins. Alright, that's more than I want. Okay, let's go to progression. We're going to do some stuff in progression. So first thing we're going to do is, if we look at the rock crusher, the rock crusher requires nodes, pistons, which also require nodes. We're going to need wood, as well as copper coil. Oh man, this is a little bit more work than I thought it was going to be. What do I want to do? What do I want to make? You know what? We're going to forget about all that. We're going to go to the B list, and we're going to work on something else. Something completely different, aka calculator. So calculator is a really cool mod, and now that we have a good bit of iron, we should be able to do some cool stuff with this. We're also going to need some stone, and there's some other things we can do. If we get more stone, that's going to try to make stone plates. You know what? Let's turn you off for right now. We're going to go grab some cobblestone, and we're going to get some 2 stacks. Let's get 4 stacks. We're going to get some new stuff. We're going to do one of the other quests, but it's going to be a little bit finicky. So if we put those in there, they'll go off and they'll do their thing. Now I'm going to need to grab a lumber axe, and we're going to need to go chop down some trees. Doesn't really matter which ones. I don't want to chop down that one though. So let's head over to, I think the swamp area has a bunch of trees we can go ahead and chop down. My gosh, I wish I had a better food source. But apart from the steaks that I occasionally find underground in the rubble piles, don't really have anything. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna chop down a couple trees for the sole purpose of we're gonna work on a little bit of calculator. So this is, I'm taking a detour. I was going to do a lot of work with, hey baby squid. I was gonna do a lot of work with getting a rock crusher and like stuff like that, but I think we're gonna do some work with calculator instead. We're gonna have to cut down some trees. Not a big deal. Whatever is supposed to prevent trees from growing super fast doesn't work, so we don't have to worry about that. Now I'm not gonna take advantage of that too much. Like I'm not gonna make my entire, I don't know what makes those sounds. I'm not gonna make my entire like industry out of making out of lumber, but we could. I'm gonna try to mostly chop down trees that are well nearby or like already grown. I'm gonna replant these trees, but I'm just basically not gonna take advantage monetarily of all the trees. that I could grow. So yeah, I could. I'm not going to. Alright, let's get back over to where we need to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on calculator. And calculator is mostly cobblestone, iron, at least early game calculator is mostly cobblestone, iron, and stone with a little bit of redstone that we need. So it should be pretty cheap and easy to do a lot of work with it. I've messed around a lot with calculator. It's a really cool mod, all things considered. And it is a very powerful mod later on. There is some things that we can make. Let's get rid of these. I kind of want to see if nutrition. Yeah, the nutrition module. Those look pretty straightforward to make. Pretty vanilla calculator at least. So that's good. That's what I like to see. This is making stone. Yes, I wanted to see that. That's good. We'll get into why I'm doing that after a little bit. But we're going to try to get some money today, and then we'll worry about other things later. So, alright, we have things, we have money. Not money, we have wood, we have stone. We have a little bit of redstone. I'm going to need to find some more redstone. I know I have it marked on the map somewhere, but we are going to need a little bit more at some point in the near future. Same with coal. I'm always running out of coal. We're going to need these. And a calculator. Where might I have placed my calculator? Alright, cool. So first thing we're going to make. So let's put this away. Let's move things around. Alright, so B list. We need to make a scientific calculator. That's one of the first things we'll do. So let's get these things. We're going to need a scientific and a stone separator. Okay. Now that looks a lot more complicated than it is. And they're actually pretty useful. So let's go ahead and make both of those things. So first things first, the scientific calculator, we're going to need some enriched gold. So we are going to need a little bit of gold and redstone. But we do have some gold over here. It's not that big of a deal. We also have our first stack of stuff. Our stack of potatoes. So in our calculator, one of those plus one of those gives us enriched gold. And then we're going to need, let's do 8 and 8. That'll give us a half a stack of this reinforced stone. So the gold we do need to cook up. Do I have any furnaces that I could use? Guess we'll just do that. I don't know why it's not putting in more potatoes, but whatever. So we're gonna need, for this thing, we're gonna need 4 enriched gold, a screen, which is just cobblestone, and a piece of redstone. So let's get that. Cobblestone and a piece of redstone. And there is the screen. Alright, and then we're going to need 2 of the calculator assemblies, the reinforced stone, and the 4 enriched gold. So, nothing too difficult there. Let's go ahead and get that made. So, 4 corners, 1 and 1, 1, 1, and the screen. And I don't know why it's not automatically making it, but whatever. So there is the scientific calculator. So that should be the quest. We're going to get baby's first PC. So I will be honest. I've never really used computer craft all that much. And I probably won't. I'll be honest. But it's there. We could if we wanted to. Let's go ahead and go sleep because things are going to run out of their power. I'm probably going to go ahead and make a couple more leadstone energy cells, potentially between episodes, so that we can get plenty of power kind of stored up. That way it's better when we use it. So like we can kind of make it through the night. Eventually we will have a building that is going to be like power generation, all that kind of stuff. It'll be easier that way. Anyways, so we have the scientific calculator. Now the next thing to make is the stone separator. So this is a little bit the same, but with a couple of differences. So one, we're going to need the reinforced stone, but we're also going to need these power cubes and reinforced iron. So power cubes are cobblestone around furnaces. That is really, really easy. So we can make 2 furnaces very simply, and then we just make a power cube. There we go. And then we're also going to need reinforced iron, which is iron and a reinforced stone in a calculator. And that's it. So now we can make that. 2 of those. 6 of those. And the iron. And that gives us the stone separator. So what's the point of the stone separator? Well, it has a bunch of uses, as well as upgrading it. But this thing, if we look at the reinforced iron, there was a stone separator recipe. We can get wood plus sticks. It will make extra. We can use gold ore to get the enriched gold, so we don't waste redstone. Iron to get the reinforced iron, so we don't waste the reinforced stone, but that's not really worth it, to be honest. Lapis will give us amethyst, and lapis blocks gives us large amethyst, as well as amethyst logs and stuff like that. There's not many recipes, but there is a few that are going to be useful in the relative near future. So we should have that marked off. We do. We're going to get some enriched gold and reinforced iron, which is awesome. And then we could make an algorithm separator. So let's see what the recipe is for that. It says we need a flawless diamond. And more importantly, a palette swap. You could adjust the basic idea of the stone separator to handle more specialized material, thus allowing you to make more advanced contraptions. And that gives us an advanced computer. Probably not going to use computers, I'll be honest. They are powerful. We could use them, but I don't know that we will. Anyways, the algorithm separator. Yeah, it just requires a standard diamond. 2 stone separators, 4 blocks of reinforced iron. It's a little bit more expensive. We're not going to worry about that right now. And then we could also get the atomic calculator, which is going to give us other things. So what's the atomic calculator recipe look like? Atomic modules require tanzanite. And tanzanite we need an algorithm separator for. Or we could get it from tanzanite ore, which is slightly different. Yeah, algorithm separator with lapis. Alright, so that is unfortunate. But an amethyst sapling is something we could also work towards. At first, the only way to get amethyst is to pick apart lapis lazuli. However, being the clever engineer he was, Lucius Calculus designed a tree that could grow amethyst from minerals in the soil. Yeah, so these are really cool. But in order to get them, we need amethyst and a sapling of some sort. And a large amethyst, we saw a stone separator with a lapis block. So if we can get... let's go ahead and put this down and get our power. If we have a lapis block, or if we have enough lapis to make a block, we might go ahead and do that. We do. 9 lapis. And we're going to go ahead, grab a sapling. I have a bunch of saplings over here. And I've got to remember how exactly to grow these. I think the amethyst and then later on the tanzanite saplings grow just fine on normal ground. But might not be the case for other things, which we'll get to later. So stone separator takes a little bit of time, and then our scientific calculator does need to get power. There we go. Let's go ahead and recharge that one as well. And we have a large amethyst, and that gives us an amethyst sapling. And that's going to give us more amethyst, and then we can grow amethyst. So one big thing to know about this is the amethyst saplings. I do not believe, one, we're just going to grow it somewhere. I guess let's go over here. So one thing to note is it's not going to be the nicest of trees because I don't believe it drops saplings. But it is still pretty cool because we're going to get things out of it and it's going to be great. So yeah, let's go ahead and I think, let's see, let's get a new stack of cobblestone. Reinforced stone can go in there as well as, actually reinforced stone should go in there as well as the wood. And then we have a lot of stone. I was expecting to have to make the calculator assemblies because those require a lot of stone, but require stone buttons to be specific, but it didn't. So we're going to use it for something else. So we have a bunch of stacks of stone, and we're going to turn these into stone bricks. And then we're going to come over here, and we're going to turn you off. Actually, it really doesn't matter. But we're going to throw a stack of stone bricks and each of these forging hammers. And they are going to very slowly, over time, make something new. Specifically, something we need for the industrialization. Circuit plates. Now this is going to give us a lot of money if we can make 512, but they're really cheap. Also, how many are we making at a time? I'm not entirely sure. We're making a decent number. We'll just leave it at that. 4. Is it 4 each? Yes. So we get 4 circuit plates every time. So 512 is what, like 4 stacks? I don't know, however many stacks it is. We're getting a lot of it, and it will be pretty quick to get all of it that we need. So basically, this will give us money, and then we'll eventually set up automation. We're going to get a lot of stone from quarrying. That way we can do a lot of things with, like, we can get all of the money ever, basically. That's what it's going to boil down to. And then we can have a big circuit factory. Now those circuits are useful for a lot of things. I believe in the quest book we're gonna have to make them into cathodes and anodes, which are lots of redstone but pretty forgiving, to be honest. So once we get a good supply of redstone, then we make a bunch of things, honestly, and that's that. So really, once we start working towards that, it's going to be great. Now, one thing we could do, and we'll probably end up doing, we have 3 windmills. It might not be a bad idea to upgrade those windmills. And I don't believe, unfortunately, that we can do that just normally. But with a piece of steel and windmill blades, it's a little expensive. lots of creosote oil and wood. So I don't know if we'll do that, but that might be a good way to get a lot of power to the quarries. Set up some windmills and do that for the time being. Eventually, I have to see if this is even possible, because I'm trying to think like long term. Mechanism is going to have the best power sources, but Mechanism is also really hard to get into. It's pretty expensive at the beginning to get into that. We're going to need a lot of really weird things, and it's just not feasible. So the gas burning generator is typically what I would go for with a pack that has Mechanism. And it's actually not that expensive, all things considered. But it does require steel casings, which requires advanced machine blocks, which are very advanced, as well as tungsten steel plates. And that is vacuum freezer. Oh no, not that thing again. And hot tungsten steel blast furnace. Yeah, really, really bad things. I don't know how we're going to get the power. That's something I'm not entirely sure yet. But are we going to be able to make tesseracts at some point? Okay, Enderium hardened glass. Alright, we can make full tesseracts. Force field emitter. Nope. Doesn't look like we'll be able to make tesseracts. Now, there is other things. What is that thing called? I believe it's a Mechanism thing. Which again, if it's Mechanism, then it's going to be super expensive. Quantum Entangler-Porter. This thing. If we can get a metallurgic infuser, then we can manage that. I don't think those are actually that expensive. Enrichment chamber. Oh, but they're like hidden from view. Combiner, injecting, infusing. So metallurgic infuser, yeah, these are really cheap. And so refined obsidian would require an osmium compressor. That requires a steel casing. But this is another thing we could use to send resources long distances. It does require a teleportation core, but that's not difficult. Atomic alloys are easy. So most of that is pretty straightforward, but it's just going to be a while till we get there. Alright, let's see how many plates we have. We have 228, 232 already. That's not bad. So I will tell you guys what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and end the episode off here. We did some calculator work today, not too bad. Next time, we're going to sell some things, specifically these circuit plates. And then from there, I might even go get a handful of redstone. I believe I know where redstone is. Yeah, I know where redstone is. There is some in our cave. That way. Yeah, there's some redstone over there. So I'll probably go manually get some redstone. Now, I did say that we got some other ingots. Karmat ingots, which Karmat is not bad, but not great. What we're going to want to do, so there was some orichalcum in that mix. Orichalcum, I also saw some Atlars, which is the best material you can get. But if we look at a pickaxe head, mining speed or mining level manual, we're gonna need something that has a high level, and orichalcum is good, but we need to get a higher level at some point in the near future, and I'm not entirely sure how we're going to do that. We're going to want something that is cobalt. If I just look up cobalt, will it tell me? Yes, it does. Dark steel. Alright, vulcanite. Vulcanite is a thing. But the question is, can we get Vulcanite? Can we break Vulcanite? I don't know what it actually needs. We have Midacium. Okay, yeah. So, Signial, which is what? Is it an or is it an alloy? It's an alloy. Platinum and orichalcum. Okay, so we can't do that one. And then orichalcum. Oh, man. I think Vulcanite is probably going to be the thing that we'll need. Because unfortunately we can't make, like, Manulin. Despite it showing that, if we walk over here and look at our materials, it doesn't let us. Now, there is a chance that maybe refined glowstone is good, but we can't get that anytime soon anyways. So yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge. Before we can make a pickaxe or anything that actually works. So that is unfortunate, but we're gonna work towards that. Sanguinite would be good, should be good, but there's a lot of them that I don't have, and whether or not we can get them from the Nether is a whole other situation. So, yeah, it is unfortunate, but we'll get there. But that's going to be it for today's episode. Maybe next time we'll do a little bit of exploration in the Nether as well. So that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!